All right, I thought we'd do kind of an interesting video today about what men really want. This is almost like a video for women, but let me hear what you guys have to say about this. Let me see if this matches up, because I think that I kind of figured out in the past what is the main thing that women want from men, right? What is the one thing that women they don't get from men? And they don't understand that men don't understand this. And it seems very simple and very basic. And when they say it, men say, I'm doing that. But women just assume that someone would know how to do this. And that is to make them feel loved, right? Or, emotional validation, right? And so if you're a man and you figured out how to emotionally validate a woman, how to make her feel loved in that way, right? That mechanism of understanding that it's not logic and to avoid the defensiveness, and you talk to a woman and you basically value her emotions, make her feel valid, make her feel understood and heard. That is the biggest shift, right? It's almost like it's essentially what romance is, right? A woman is seeking romance. All right, that's what she's seeking from men. So what is the equivalent, right? What is the equivalent of men? What is the equivalent for a man? What makes a man truly happy in a relationship? What makes a man truly content in his life, right? What thing could a woman do for a man that will make his confidence go up, that will make his day better, make him feel better about himself, and make him feel like he could just conquer the world, right? Well, what is that magic formula? What's the thing? And I think I have the answer. Okay. And it's not an easy answer to derive, even though it seems really basic, right? Because there's some nuances to this. But the answer is strong sexual desire, that she shows him a strong sexual desire. Right. And I think that most men in their lives do not get this, and they crave this, not just in a relationship, but just in general. Even if you're single, the thing that you're probably after, that you don't even realize it, is that you want to feel strongly desired by a woman or multiple women, right? That's what you really want. That's why we go to the gym. That's why men become ambitious and make money. That's why a lot of the motivation that men have is based on that. And it's not just based on what women think it is, which is sex, right? And it's not the same thing, right? I think this is where the confusion is because a lot of women will say, well, men are just interested in sex. And yeah, if you give a man sex, he'll be happy. But that's actually not true. It's not the sex that men are really after. Yes, the sex is good. Yes, men in general want sex. But what men want is to be desired by a woman, for her to show that desire to him, right? Now, this is where women get confused, because they're like, I'm doing that. I'm showing a man, if they're in a relationship, I'm showing sexual desire by letting him have sex with me. Right? Or even by saying that some of the things that women say, but I think that most women don't understand what that actually looks like. And what that actually looks like is it looks like almost being selfish. Right? It looks like telling a man what you want from him, what you want him to do to you, how you want him to take you and ravish you, and how you are horny for him, right? For a lack of a better term, right? This is what actually is what most men really desire. Now, again, if I'm wrong with this, let me know, guys, because I am running this idea by you guys just to see, because I do think that this is something that would be extremely valuable to women in a relationship if they understand this and they understand how they can do this, right? And what I would equate this to is the feeling that women want romance in a relationship. If you really ask a woman what's the most important thing to her in a relationship, it is to feel romance, right? If women read romance novels, why? Not just because of the sex scenes in the romance novels, because they want to feel that. They love the feeling of romance. And what is romance? How do we define it? As a man, you think you're being romantic if you take a girl out on a date or if you buy her a gift. That's not quite it, is it? Right? The romance comes from the nuanced way that you're doing that, in the sense that you're indicating such a high amount of desire for her, or for only her, and to just be with her and to just have eyes for her, that you can't live your life and you can't resist not being with her, and that you hang on her every word, and every time you look at her, your heart stops, and she, it's this idea conveying that. And then also this in the same way, validating her emotions, understanding how she feels, wanting to know her better. And I could go on, and I could give you a tutorial on how to be romantic as a guy and what romance is. But the point is that it's something that women really, really want. And if you can romance a woman properly, then you will make her the most happy in a relationship that she is in. And not just in a relationship, but that's what women are really seeking. They're seeking that romance. They want to have romance in their life. The flip side of this is, what is the most important thing for a man in a relationship? And that is the sexual desire part of it, to feel sexually desired by the woman that he's with, right? That is one of the reasons why men will look outside of relationship, is because they want to get that. Now, again, some people will simplify it to just wanting sexual gratification or wanting to have sex with women. And it's not really quite that, okay? Like I said, it is the desire, right? And so how does a woman actually show this desire to a man, right? Again, it's not obvious. It is done in a lot of different ways, but it is done by communicating these urges, or what she wants, right? If you think about it, even just sex, if we talk about this here for a minute, how women and men approach sex differently. Now, again, I know that there's some variation in this, and I know that some guys don't quite think this way, but when I'm talking about good sex, right, I'm talking about the way that women approach it is that they essentially they are more of the experiencers, right? Because a woman can have multiple orgasms and crazy orgasms and all this. Like, her scale goes from 0 to 100, right? A man's scale goes from 0 to 10 in terms of pleasure, right? And so the thing to understand is that a man's experience in the bedroom, and again, tell me if I'm wrong here, guys, but it is really more about unlocking that desire of the woman and pleasing her, and how much she gets excited about it, right? If you look at adult movies, adult film, we'll use those words so that this video doesn't, flag anything. But what do they primarily show in adult film? Like, what is the primary thing, that the acting that occurs? It is the excitement of the woman, right? The excitement of her, like how crazy she's going, right? That's what it is. You don't have adult film videos where it's focused on the man like having a good time. I mean, maybe there's a little bit of that, but the majority of it, right, is focused on the woman, the noises that she's making. She's making these crazy noises and all these things, right? Because she's just has so much pleasure, right? And so the idea behind that is that the reason why that's appealing to men is because that's what men want. Men want a woman to have that high of a desire for them, to not get enough of them, right? Again, and like I said, you can't just simplify this down to sex, because you could be with a woman and she could have sex with you every day. She could even want to have sex with you every day, right? Or offer herself up to you. However, that still does not indicate a high desire, right? It indicates some amount of desire, but not a high desire. If she can't stand to not be, if she has to tear your clothes off, if she's at that level of trying to get you, that is a high desire. So the frequency wouldn't even have to be as much, right? If a woman, if you're in a relationship and a woman has sex with you, or you whatever, you have sex once a week, but the desire is extremely high, that she's wanting you, begging you for it, then that, as a man, makes you feel good about yourself. It is your sexual confidence, and it makes you feel like more of a man. And so, again, I'm still fleshing out this full idea, but this kind of came from a conversation that I was having, and I was thinking about this, and I was like, wow, that is really kind of the thing. That is really what men want, right? Is we want to feel this extreme desire from a woman, and for her to express that in these ways that almost seem to her to be selfish. Like, I want you to do this to me, right? Because again, you look at the dynamic, and a woman wouldn't even think about this a lot of times, because they would see that as selfish, whereas a man sees that as, I'm useful, I'm wanted, I'm needed for this thing, right? And when you really kind of think about the basics of it, is that men want to feel useful. They want to feel like they are needed and necessary. And when a woman makes a man feel that way, then he feels like he's on top of the world, right? If you think about it, guys, if your woman is like, just thinks you're the hottest thing ever, then she always wants to have sex with you and she indicates that to you, or that she desires you, does that not make it so that your day is wonderful and you feel good about yourself and you feel confident about yourself and you feel more of a man and you're able to conquer the world better, right? And so, yeah. So anyway, I was just thinking about this, and like I said, I'm curious to get your thoughts on this, if this is accurate in your sense, or if there's something else. Is there something else that you prioritize higher than that? If you really think about, and I'm not talking about money, I'm not talking about like, kind of these superficial things. I'm talking about deep down, what makes you feel the best as a human being, as a man.